Hello, welcome to the webinar on the UK Educational Leadership Studies program for Masters in Ed Leadership, Education Specialist degree, and the Principal Certification program. I am sharing a link over in the chat to our website, which I'll be referring to in just a minute, and I'm delighted that you're here. My name is Lou Young, and I am the Professional Program Faculty Chair at the University of Kentucky in the Department of Ed Leadership Studies, and I work closely with the Principal and Superintendent Preparation programs at UK. For any guests who are with us today, if you would please say hello over in the chat, and I'll have a note about who may be joining us at this time. You may also use the Q&A feature of the webinar to ask any questions that you might have, and feel free to do that at any time. You don't have to wait on the presentation. I'll keep an eye out for participants here and then ask folks to say hello in the chat as they sign in. In the meantime, I'm going to share my screen to take you to that website that I just mentioned at UK Online. This is the introduction to the external certification in educational leadership. It's the administration option for school principal. So you'll know you're at the right spot when you see that educational leadership admin option school principal. The link has the most current information that we have to date on our program, and you'll see here in the intro that most of our students in the program earn their principal certification in conjunction with a master's degree or an education specialist degree in educational leadership. So you are eligible if you currently hold a bachelor's degree and a Kentucky teacher's license, or a teacher license or certification from another state. You're also eligible if you already have a master's degree, because you can earn your education specialist degree to stack on top of your master's. So we do serve students in the master's and education specialist degree seeking path. All of our students earn their degree and a rank change in Kentucky. So if you're working on your master's and you currently hold rank 3, you will earn rank 2. If you hold your, if you currently hold a bachelor's and a rank 3, you'll earn your master's and a rank 2. If you currently hold your master's and a rank 2, you'll earn your education specialist and a rank 1, along with your principal license for the state of Kentucky. For those of you who join us who perhaps are from out of state, it's important to note that we only offer licensure in Kentucky, but there are pathways, reciprocal pathways to licensure in other states. And I would encourage you to reach out to me for more details on that pathway. So I've included my email address over in the chat as well. I don't see any participants live yet, but I'm going to go ahead with the webinar for the purposes of the recording. But please, if folks do join in, I will remind everyone that the Q&A feature is also available. So in addition to what you can earn through our program, I want to talk to you a little bit about admissions criteria. As I noted, you do have to have a teaching license, and you must have 3 years of teaching experience. In Kentucky, you cannot be admitted to a principal program until you have those 3 years under your belt. If you have questions about that, specifically to your own employment history, feel free to reach out to me as well. You must also submit transcripts from your previous institutional preparation for your bachelor's and/or master's degree, along with a writing sample and a copy of your teaching license. All of that is available on the website for more information about the application process. We'll be accepting applications for our program through mid-July, and we would love to receive your application. Now a bit about the program itself. It is a fully online degree program, and we typically have cohorts of students who start in the fall of the year, and they do 5 consecutive semesters. So fall year 1, spring year 1, summer year 1, fall year 2, and spring year 2. So if you were to start in the fall of 2024, then you would actually earn your degree, your rank change, and your principal license in the spring of 2026. And then you would be eligible to take a principal position or an assistant principal position in Kentucky as early as the fall of 2026. Now, you do have the opportunity to go at a slower pace if you prefer to only take one course per semester instead of 2. All courses, remember, are fully online. So there are alternative ways to go slower if you choose. But the vast majority of our students do the 5-semester start to finish sequence, and they are very successful in those efforts. So I would encourage you to think about the cohort model so that you can accomplish your goals sooner rather than later. At this time, I'm going to share a screen that shows our program plan. I'll call your attention to the left-hand side of the infographic. Cover up some of the other things on my screen here. So on the left-hand side for MED, that's Masters in Educational Leadership, or EDS, the Education Specialist degree. You can also pick up some grad certs and a teacher leadership endorsement if that is interesting to you too. I'm happy to say more about that if you have questions. But let's follow this infographic. If you started, as I mentioned earlier, in the fall of 2024, you would take 2 courses, EDL 706 and 709. You would roll right into the spring with 2 more courses, EDL 638 and EDL 707. You'll see here that in 707, you finish a 2-course sequence with 709. And you conduct an action research capstone project at the end of your first 2 semesters in the program. Now let's follow this infographic down on the left-hand side, please. This webinar is only for the principal admin option. So if you continue to follow on the left, your 3rd semester would be the summer of 2025, and you'll take 627 and 708. And at that point, you would actually be eligible for an endorsement by the Education Professional Standards Board in teacher leadership. You might also choose to earn an instructional coaching grad certification. After the first 3 semesters, you're 60% of the way through the program, and then you have 2 semesters to go, 1 more academic year. In the fall of year 2, you would take 628 and 634. And then in the spring, your final semester in the cohort model, you would take 646 and 1 grad elective, rounding out a 10 course, 30 credit hour program to your degree and your principal certification in Kentucky. So it really is quite feasible, doable for those of you who are working professionals. Almost all of our candidates are full-time teachers. And we consistently get feedback that the course workload is manageable, including taking 2 courses each semester for 5 semesters. My information is over in the chat. You can reach me at lou.young@uky.edu. Notice that Lou is spelled just L-U. And the link to our program, I'm going to put in the chat one more time. And then if I do have any webinar participants that are not showing up on my participant side, feel free to use the Q&A feature at this time or over in the chat feature to everyone, please. All right, I'm going to wrap the recording of the webinar at this point. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have your application. Kentucky very much needs a quality pool of principal and assistant principals applicants across the state. And it is our mission at UK EDL to ensure that we are preparing teachers and teacher leaders and principals to fill those positions as they become vacant. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.